What is up, everybody? And today I am working on a little bit of animation tutorial, and I'm working on a little bit of face here. Not bad. First of all, you want to start with a circle, so definitely good. And good idea to do is to always draw circles. Maybe get a sketch pad like I have right here, and always draw circles. They are very helpful and very useful. Next thing you might want to do is you would want to bring down a line right about to maybe half an inch from the circle and kind of draw a line down there. You want to make it equal. I can't stress that enough. You want to try to make it equal, or else it just kind of looks weird. You probably saw that before, so good thing to do is put out guidelines because they help you a lot, and once you get the hang of it, you probably won't need them anymore for all you people who don't like guidelines. Now for anime, the eyes are excessively huge, and search some anime and you will find that there are a lot of huge eyes, and their eyes convey expression. It can be for anything from mad, angry, happy, to sad, and it's a wide variety. So what you're going to need to do is figure out eyes. Just go Google, go crazy. I'm going to start with eyes. I'm going to start with female eyes, and usually female eyes are bigger and much wider, and kind of have this place about them. And they are more wider, they're more carefree looking, and they also, have lines to them. They're always really happy, sometimes too happy. Is there such thing as that? So you're going to need to draw something like that. It's not that hard, and these are not the eyebrows, these are part of the eyes. Now the eyes are kind of hard, but what you're going to need to do is you're just going to need to, get that. You're going to need to come down a little ways, but make it look human, because that definitely doesn't look like it. You're going to need to do a little bit of research, a little bit of time taking. It's going to take quite a while, but you're going to need a little bit more oval, but then again, they have to be within the parameters of the eyes, so you want to do that with the other one. Try to make sure they look right, and if that doesn't help, I'm going to grab a special thing from the side. It's kind of like this bar thing, and you're just gonna have to put it through and make sure it looks right. See, some of it's off, and that doesn't look right, does it? So you can just kind of modify it, and the eyes, you can see there's these very little mistakes, and unless you want a perfectionist, you're probably gonna want to change them. So just extend that a little bit, maybe cut off a few bits, widen out, and come down a little bit more, and then you got something. It's easy to do in the first place, but it definitely takes practice. For the like the middle part of the eyes, you don't want to go all the way because that just kind of looks weird, in my opinion. So sometimes I just want to do something like that, and then have some little bit of light bubbles in it, and maybe one in the top just for show. And you don't always want to have to do like the full ways, because usually it blends in, but in this case it's black and white, so yeah. You're going to want to have to do that to both eyes, and also the light shading is a good way to show where the light is. So always keep that in mind. It's a very good thing to have. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need to make sure, yep, they're correct, and that's definitely a good thing. Noses. Noses aren't that hard. Mainly, I gotta say, many people mess up. I'd say the side view is the hardest thing, but ignoring the eyes, a nose is usually more of it's just kind of a dip like this, kind of a side line, and then you kind of curve it back very fast. If you want to get for a straight nose, basically you just, shade it a little bit, and just kind of gives it depth of sorts. Of course, you're going to need a little bit more, but you get the point. Going back to our drawing, you're going to need to, sorry for all the banging around. Going back to the drawing here, you're going to need to take your time and try to make sure you got all your techniques right. I'm just going to go with the hair usually has long strands to it. Usually wavy strands, so if you have a neck, and it's just not that hard to do a neck, it's just like any line. And you do the same with the other one. This is kind of thin, but I don't really care at the moment. You want, shoulders are a very key part. You're going to want to have the shoulders actually kind of jut down for some ways, and then just kind of slide down. You don't want them like this. That's a little bit too complex. You want them just kind of slide down and slowly rest down and just, pull down like that. It's not exactly equal, but it's best I can pull off at the moment. Now the hair is very crazy. You've seen pink. If you're an avid anime watcher like I am, you probably would know that there's a lot of pink, there's a lot of blue, and they stand out a lot in the crowd. And they also have lots of frills in their hair, and it's like all pointing in every single different direction. Very boisterous, if I say so myself. You're just going to want to come back. A good little thing to do is actually to pull back like this and then pop back up, and it gives a little strand to it. And sometimes you're just going to want to create that line. You don't want the hair to be down here, because that doesn't look. If you look on a human anatomy book, they don't go down here. They almost reach the eyes, and there's only a short amount of space between the bangs. So I'm just going to do that. And once I get that done, I repeat the same thing on the other side. And, I'm just kind of hurrying through this. This is not exactly one of my better projects. I'll be doing time lapses of some of my better ones. And there's kind of your hair right there. Now you can add in more streaks. You can add in more frills as such. But going on, you can also put bows and stuff in there as a little quirk. And let's put on the nose usually. It's not that bad. It's more of a dainty one. You don't want to put too much. Anime is about being cute and lovable and adorable, so wheel noses are not going to work for this. You're just going to want to put something simple in there. And for smiles, you don't want it to be cheesy smile, but for this tutorial, I'm going to just put this here. And, she just seemed embarrassed, so good thing to do is, in that case, is probably to put embarrassment marks on the character herself. Another key part of the eyes is the eyebrows. Eyebrows can convey so much expression. I can't stress you how much that is important. So sometimes you're just going to want to, try that. And it definitely helps with expression. It can make them feel surprised, angry, mad. But right now, she's just kind of neutral. Half from there smiling. A good way to line out art is to use a pen of some sort and just line out the ones you want, and the ones you don't want, you just flat out erase it all. But make sure your lines all connect and everything. And that is all. And my time is about up. So.